Hello and welcome to the LocBox screencast showing how to share your LocBox vault with another Dropbox user with the free version of LocBox. To do this, you need to accomplish two tasks. One, you need to share your LocBox folder from your Dropbox with the other user, and two, you need to share the key that you use to encrypt the files in your LocBox vault with the user. To share a Dropbox folder with another user, the easiest way to do this is to log into your Dropbox account in your browser, as I have done here, and click on the Share a Folder button. Tell it that you'd like to share an existing folder. Choose the LocBox folder to be shared. Next. And then type in the email address of the user that you wish to share your LocBox folder with. Now this needs to be the email address that that user used when they created their Dropbox account. You can also optionally enter in a personal message with your invitation. When you click to share the folder, an email will be sent to that user, and there will be a link in there for them to accept the sharing of your LocBox folder. When they agree to that, your LocBox folder will show up within their Dropbox, just as if it was their own LocBox folder. Now, I've already done this with a user that I have running in my Windows machine, so I won't continue here. But to demonstrate how this all works, I will, from my Mac, encrypt the dir6 JPEG file we've seen in previous videos using the DUG key. So I highlight the DUG key and I drag the dir6 JPEG to the file list. Now I just want to point out one little thing I've not pointed out in a previous video. When you're dragging a file, if you accidentally drag it first to the key list or pass by the key list, it will cause the keys to be unhighlighted, which means if you continue on to the file list and drop it, the system will complain that you did not highlight a key. It's important that when you highlight a key, you drag straight to the file list without passing through the key list so that it doesn't de-highlight the key. Drop it, and there we see that dir6 JPEG has been encrypted with a DUG key. Okay, now going over to my Windows machine, the one that I have shared the LocBox folder with, I will now launch the LocBox program. And even if this was the first time I was running LocBox on this machine, it would look for my Dropbox, find it, and then look within that to see if there is a LocBox folder. If there already is a LocBox folder, it will open it up as its own vault. That has happened here, and I can see the dir6 JPEG that I encrypted with the other account is now available for me to decrypt. However, I can see that it was encrypted with the DUG key, but in my key list I only have a mic key. If I now try to decrypt the dir6 JPEG file by double-clicking on it, telling it to go to the desktop, it's going to come back and tell me that it cannot find the key used on this file in my keychain. I need to add in the DUG key before I can actually decrypt this file. So presumably I talk to the original user who tells me over the phone or by email what the name and the password of the DUG key is. And then I'm able to create that key within my account. So I'm told that the DUG key is called DUG with a capital D, and it's important that the name be spelled exactly the same, because that is how LocBox figures out what key to use, is by the name. And the password was LocBox is great with an exclamation mark. Click OK. So now I have the DUG key in my key list. Now let's try decrypting the file. To the desktop, I click OK, and success. I am now able to decrypt any files that the other user puts into his vault using the DUG key. And vice versa, I can now start dragging in files using the DUG key into this LocBox vault, and the other user is then able to see them in his file list and decrypt them. If I was to put a file into the file list using the mic key, the other user who does not have the mic key would not be able to decrypt the file. Even though it's the other user's LocBox folder, I can actually put things in there that the other user cannot decrypt. It always comes down to whether you have the key to open up the file or not.